Hi, this is Damien from AtHope, and I'm an Axiological Atheist. And I'm here with my guests. Could you please tell us your name and what kind of atheist you are?
Jorge, atheist, secular humanist.
Okay. And what does it mean to be a secular humanist to you?
To me, it's about helping each other. There's no outside supernatural power that's going to come help us. So we got to give each other a hand and help your fellow men and women.
All right. That sounds good. So, were you always a secular humanist atheist, or were you raised in religion?
Now, I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
Cafeteria Catholic, which my family has always been Catholic. I was raised in a Catholic school. But from the age of about 10, I was intrigued with religion. Why I believe in the Holy Trinity, the Virgin Mary, and some people believe in other things. So at the age of 10, I started going to a Buddhist temple, and I started studying about different religions. That I carried that through adulthood, not just Buddhism, but also Hare Krishna, the synagogue. I started converting to Judaism as well, until I realized that that's it. We're alone. There's nothing supernatural. There's no God. It's just us.
And what was the reason that you came to that conclusion?
The first big thing for me was to let go of Jesus.
Mm.
When I started going to synagogue, like there was no divinity there, and the rabbi told me that there's no bearded man in the sky looking after us. They're Reformed Judaism.
Okay.
Open, and I think the rabbi was and that kind of opened my eyes. And if I'm being lied to, although I know my family didn't lie on purpose, it was a lie perpetrated by centuries, then what else do we not know? What
Right.
else have we told differently? So I was afraid of even asking myself questions whether God exists or not, because of course, God can listen to my thoughts. So I was even afraid of thinking whether or not there is a God. And I figure if there is a God worth worshiping, that God will understand why I have questions. So I started losing my fear and started asking more questions until,
Oh, and so how long ago would you say exactly that you felt like you were totally an atheist?
I can say I had that eureka moment probably about 6 or 7 years ago. That's quite recent. For some time, I was agnostic more than atheist. But about 6, 7 years ago, it's like I'm an atheist.
Right. And do you remember what it specifically made you come to that firmer conclusion?
I remember when I was more of an agnostic, I was holding on to the hope of something else being there.
Oh, okay.
Because, I feel it deep down. I felt like I knew I was an atheist, but I wanted to hold on to the hope of my loved ones after I died. I think that was like the biggest thing for me. To know that when we die, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first became an atheist is about 9 years ago or so, and at first I called myself a spiritual atheist because I thought maybe ghosts and that were still possible. I just thought God wasn't, but maybe like you said, afterlife or something. But then I started realizing, learning more about science and realizing when in nature and evolution did magic come in to make the mind exist outside the body after death. And what would make us special to do that? It would have to be something happening, And since we're not that much special than the Neanderthals, do they have souls too, or spirits too? Do they have ghosts, Neanderthal ghosts, or? I started.
Because we want to hold on to that hope. We were told since we were born, well, we can remember that, oh, such and such died, but he's in heaven, and we're going to see them again. And I understand that it is a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, I cannot envy that. I cannot envy that hope that believers have that I don't. So I think that for us, death is harder in that sense because you know that it is a definite goodbye.
Yeah, I agree. People want magical things to happen because then life would have more meaning or more specialness, and it really doesn't.
And just wishing it was doesn't make it so.
Exactly. So I agree. I like to try to live life as it is real. Like you said, we're real humans in this world, and we can care for each other, and that's enough meaning, for my life now.
And I have friends that ask me like, but don't you want to have some? Why? I mean, we can live this life, the one that we know we have, we are there, live it to the fullest. And my afterlife will be whatever I leave behind. Um, Whatever I do, whatever difference I can make in someone's life, that will be my afterlife. I'm also signed up to donate the body for science, not just organs and the full body. So let's not make a big deal that maybe they find the cure of cancer using my body. Let's be more humble. Let's say as medical student learn anatomy using my body.
Right.
That alone, I'm making a contribution. And I'm not there. That body is not. It's just a body.
Right.
But contribution instead of letting it rot.
Oh, I totally agree. I'm also an organ donor and that would donate my body to science or whatever. I mean, I agree with you. To me, the body is nothing. Once I'm gone, my conscious is gone. It's just a body. It doesn't have any sacredness.
No, and if it can help advance science for the betterment of the people that are being born now.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely giving back what little you can. So, are you out to your family or your work or your life? Out that you're an atheist? and how do they respond to that? Are they accepting?
Well, at first it was kind of a shock, but mostly because I don't think my family knew an atheist before me.
Right.
And actually, the word atheist was a lot of people I know think that word is an insult. It's not. It just means you don't believe in God.
Right.
Because it was demonized, that word. Once I explained, oh, okay, I have friends or family that don't agree, but respect it.
Yeah.
thinking. So,
So
yeah,
so you're able to help some people that are wanting to question. That's good. See, you're doing good stuff in the world.
I want to think that.
Yeah.
Whenever I have friends sending me messages like, hey, I saw this, like, because they know they can trust me
Right.
what they're thinking, and that's nice.
Yeah.
And I got a friend who took a picture of a selfie on Mac and sent it to me. I'm like, oh, I love it when my friends think of me while they're in church.
So, are you anti-religionist, or do you? What is your opinion on religion?
I think it does more harm than good.
Hmm.
I believe I respect everyone's right to believe whatever they want to believe.
Right.
I respect people, but not ideas, because ideas
Yeah.
people. I do not like religion. But okay, for example, my husband and I are in the process right now of adopting. Our daughter, which she's gonna be 10 next month. One of the things that she wrote is that she wants to go to church.
Right.
My husband is more agnostic. So I said, fine. I mean, she wants to go to church, I'll take her to church.
Right.
And that came to a surprise to a lot of people, but the thing is that that is her choice.
Oh, I totally agree.
And I have to respect her thoughts. If later on she decides that it's nonsense, then awesome.
Yeah.
And if she decides, then I have to respect that.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I'm very anti-religionist and anti-theist, but I believe that people own themselves, and that includes children. You know, they have the right to their own beliefs. I mean, I agree that I would do the same thing you're doing.
Our daughter, she's been in foster care. She's going to be 10. So I can understand if her faith has helped her go through the challenging times that she's been through. Who am I to say anything? You know, I respect that, and I don't like religion, but
Yeah, I don't think you have to respect the belief, but you can respect the person who believes.
exactly. Hopefully, I'll teach her enough scientific method and how to ask questions and everything that eventually she'll come up with her own conclusion.
Yeah.
But I can only hope. I want to give her the tools to be a successful adult later on in life. That's what I have to care about.
Right, and if she decided to completely believe, you would still love her just the same.
I love her no matter what.
Yeah. See, you're a good mom.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, at least to me, I agree with. I would do the same thing.
Our son, we have a biological son. He's not being raised with religion at all. At all. And when we discuss what we're going to do about church with our daughter, it's like we are going to take turns. My husband will go one Sunday, I'll go the next, and so on, so that the other one will stay with our son.
And so, what is how old is your son? 6. Has he asked any questions about God to you?
No, I live in Texas, Bible Belt. So there was one time where he said something about God, and I can't even quite remember what it was. It was something God, something like, who's God? And he, of course, he didn't answer. So I bought a book, the Belief book by David McAfee.
Yeah.
Awesome book. And he read it, but he's never said anything again. But if he does, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Well,
That's funny. So, are you out at your work, or do you work? And what is a reaction there in Texas?
I work from home.
Oh, you're from home.
I see my coworkers on our quarterly meeting, and really we don't have much time to mingle or anything because it's the meeting and then
Right.
so luckily it hasn't been an issue or anything. When we were doing our home study to prepare for the adoption, the first person that started doing the home study decided not to continue because she parents. So I did have difficulty there, and so someone else had to complete the home study.
Wow.
The person from the agency, I told them, so let me get this straight. Christians automatically are going to make good parents, even though most children are removed from homes where people say they believe in a God. You know, where is the logic in that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that all religious people are bad or anything like that, but I mean, you see more Christians in jail than atheists. You know, what
Right.
is the population in jail, and what is the people who say they're Christians in jail? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. So I might not be a good mom because I don't believe in God. Now, this whole adoption foster world is very religiously charged.
Could you explain that?
I'm on different foster and adoption groups on Facebook, for example, and it's all got this, got that. I have to take a breath.
So there's no atheist adoption stuff.
I bet there are atheists doing this as well as I am, but the majority of the people doing this, and I appreciate that they are, but everyone assumes we're all Christian.
Have you thought about starting a Facebook page or a group for godless foster care or something like that?
I haven't thought of that.
Because I think that sometimes we feel like, wow, I wish something was out there, and if we feel that calling and we're personal to it, maybe we should the ones that should do it. Say, okay, let's do it. I mean, if
Yeah. Like when I first came out, and of course at first everybody of my friends on Facebook were like, what? Everyone was shocked, and I felt quite isolated. Also the fact that I live in Texas,
yeah.
makes you. But I joined on Meetup, a group of freethinkers and atheists in the area. I went to a couple of hangouts, not that many, but it helped me realize that I'm not alone.
Right.
Atheists here in the Bible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So maybe if you started a Facebook group for godless adoptions or godless, foster parents, you may have a lot of people that have been waiting for you to make that group. So that there are a lot of people that are alone and don't know, and it also would give you, the connections also that you need. I'm all for activism. I'm all for let's go out and do things, man. Make it happen. Like you said at the beginning, being a secular humanist, which I am too, we realize that if we don't do anything, nothing will be done. And so I usually try to act under the guise that if I feel a personal need for something, then I should go and do it. Because there's probably people waiting for someone to do it. And you seem like a really, well put together person who obviously cares, for your children, you would be a great, spokesperson for that movement that you could create. I mean, that's like people are like, well, how did I start doing activism at colleges? I thought, well, I became an atheist because of college. What a better place to go and talk to the people that are at college. And I didn't see that many people really doing it. So I just thought, well, I'll just do it.
Yeah, and college is about opening your mind and learning about the world.
Yeah.
It's not just this. It's so many ideas that you can learn.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times people think, well, I don't really have anything to offer, or I'm not really special. Yeah, well, really nobody is really that special, really. I mean, everybody, I mean, unless you believe in magic, everybody is just a human. And we all matter. So, I mean, we all can make a difference. And the belief that we have, I believe is really religious oriented, that we're not special, that we need somebody special to do things. Yeah, well, that's why they have clergy and priests and monks and, and gods and all these people above us. And we're just these, little automatons on the bottom. That's just not true. You're a powerful person. You have a powerful message. You could make a difference. We can. That's right. So, had you ever thought before about being involved in the atheist movement?
I'm sorry?
I said, had you ever before thought about being involved in the atheist movement yourself, actively?
Yes, I thought about it, but I haven't. I just haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually more rewarding and fun than it realized. I know when I first started, I didn't before I got into Facebook and stuff, I didn't really feel like there's anybody like me out there. I felt alone, and now I realize, well, that was a mistake. There's a lot of people. So I mean, I have 2 groups, and I have like 3 atheist pages, and
I'm on 2 of your pages, I think. Or maybe I'm on all 3. I know I have you on 2 pages.
yeah, I have one that's political and atheist, and then I have one that's atheist for non-aggression. It's kind of like towards you have that one? Yeah, it's like feminism and raising children and gay rights and different stuff like that. Then I have what's that?
Which are all subjects that I like.
Yeah, see, but I made that page because I felt like it needed, and one where we care about the rights of people and all that, and so I felt like it needed to be a page out there like that, so I made one, and then I made the Axiological Atheist page that I have too. And I made the group because I wanted more kind of science and stuff, and I wanted an open group that really informed people. I'm really into education because I really believe that once, like you said about your foster daughter, once you really become educated, I really feel it's kind of hard to stay ignorant. I mean, it's almost like it has to be a choice at that point.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And with atheism, for example, when I came out, everyone was shocked. Now it's the most natural thing because they realize the more atheists come out and say, "Hey, I am," the better because it's not a taboo. It's not. It's a normal thing. There are atheists all around us, many closeted because they are afraid of the repercussions of having issues at work or what have you. When the second person was going to do the home study, my husband almost said, like, it's just not, yeah, I mean, whatever, because it's easier. And I understood his point, but I refused to deny who I am.
That's great.
Absolutely
Nothing.
I mean, nothing. And I was ready to call Freedom from Religion Foundation if they declined, because there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah. Did you see that I posted? I put today about what atheism is to me, made simple.
No, I haven't. I've been out of it.
Oh.
Be here at our time.
Oh, okay. But anyways, what I basically said is, to me, like, and the reason I wrote that is because I told that to a Muslim last time I was out doing activism this week. She said, "Why are you an atheist? Atheist doesn't make any sense. It takes faith." And I go, "No, it doesn't." I go, "Let me make it simple for you. Atheism is basically accepting the world as it presents itself, which is only natural with no supernatural." And she goes, "Well, I don't know if I believe that." And I go, "Of course you do. Show me where there's supernatural. Point where? Where? Show me something in this world that we can attest and understand that has the only conclusion is something outside of nature." There isn't. There's nothing. So, thus, atheism makes perfect sense.
And that's a line that I've heard a lot. Oh, it takes faith to be an atheist. No, it doesn't. I've heard that line so many times. And there are different sort of lines that people say that it's what they've heard, and they just repeat it without.
Yes. Well, when I usually have to explain to them what. Oops. Yeah, I was going to say, I usually have to explain to them what faith really means. I tell them, to me, when someone says faith, it's strong belief without evidence. Because once you have evidence, it doesn't require faith. Then you know. And they said, and they try to say, "Oh, well, but before you know, it takes faith." And I said, "No, before that, there's two other things that as an atheist I can use. One is conjecture, which means an educated guess, which means I have a certain amount of evidence, but not enough, and then I just make a guess. But whenever I have conjecture, I don't fully believe because I don't really know. I'm guessing. Even though it's educated, I'm still admitting I'm kind of guessing. So I don't have full belief. It's a probability. I accept that. Then we have inference, and inference is when we have more information and we can see the connections. But it's not 100% sure. It's still saying everything looks like this. So I'm open to my belief changing if I get new evidence. That has nothing to do with faith.
That reminds me of there's this meme all around that is like, you can torture me, you can do this to me, but I'm always gonna believe, or I'm not gonna change my mind, something like that. And I said, well, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to torture me or anything. Show me evidence.
That's right. That's right. I agree. Yeah.
That's arrogant. But I'm not the one saying I'm never changing my mind. No, I'm humble enough to admit if I'm wrong. I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to say, you know what? You were right and I was wrong.
Yep. Yeah, and I try to tell them, they go, "Well, what if you're wrong?" I say, "Okay, let's see. What if I'm wrong about what? That the world only is natural the way it presents itself? Or you're saying, what if there's some God that I can't test in natural? Yeah, what if there's some God? Okay, if there's a God, what God are you talking about? God of the Bible?" And they're like, "Yes, God of the Bible." Okay, if the God of the Bible was true, I would never worship that. That guy is homophobic. He's sexist. He's unhumanistic because he doesn't allow people to run their own lives. I mean, he's a moral tyrant. He doesn't deserve for me to worship, even if it was real.
Like Hitchens, when he said something about if God asked me to do this or that to my child, I'll say no.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Exactly. And I think that's what they don't get. They think if an atheist were to acknowledge that a God was real, that they would go down on their knees and start worshiping or kill, like you said, be willing to kill their children for God. No, I would not do that. No more than I would do it if Hitler wanted me to do stuff. That's right. Right. And they really, and you made a good point. If they really understood morality, that they would accept that.
I think this week or last week, a video came out of an experiment that they did. I think it was in either Germany or Netherlands, that they disguised the Bible and they put as if it was the Quran.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's the book that you call the good book.
Yeah. Well, that's because they can make excuses for their book, but if the same exact morality questions were put and not to the book they believe, they would be against it completely. Well, and I think it also goes to the point that a lot of people don't read the Bible.
Oh, well, there's some messed up things in there. Not just cute hymns and psalms.
Oh, yeah. Even the Psalms. You know, one of the Psalms says about the joy of smashing babies' heads against the rocks. Yeah, that is not, that is like, evil. I don't care who you think you are. Killing little babies? That's why I think it's so funny. Like I've seen the meme before. It says, if you say that you find your Bible from the morality, I must assume you've not read the Bible.
Yeah, that's certainly not my book.
So, has anyone ever asked you where you get your morality?
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
Empathy is the mother of morality, and we all have that. We don't need anything outside.
Yeah. Right, and I agree with that. And you can look at animals and watch them take care of their young and know that they don't have the Bible.
It's natural.
Yeah, it's natural. It's evolutionary. And I think that it's easy to prove that because we need to survive by the assistance of others. We don't, our lives are not like only we do everything. I mean, you didn't make your own clothes probably. You didn't make your glasses. You didn't probably make your food. You didn't make, your house. I mean, a lot of, we need each other. And so in a relationship of needing each other, it helps for people to trust you. It helps for people to like you and feel, good towards you, so you wouldn't be bad to them or they won't help you. Yeah. So do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. How have you experienced any difference, do you think, being a female in the atheist movement?
No, I've read a lot about that there's not enough women out as atheists. And, I mean, when you see most of the people representing atheism to the public, yeah, I guess it's true. Most are men. But I never felt like, I don't know, I've never felt like we're a minority. I'm sure there are plenty of women. I don't know.
But I mean, so you don't feel that you've been treated different. So I was asking also.
No, I don't feel that I have at all.
Well, that's good.
Just not enough
Yeah.
as they are men.
Right. In other words, like you were saying, there's not enough women running groups for mothers and or parents with adopted children or yeah, I can see that. So there's a need. What you're saying, you realize the need, and then yeah, and you're gonna feel motivated to make a group. How wonderful! In fact, I can help you do that because I've done groups. Yeah, and I think that's the issue, though, is that I think that a lot of times men are more aggressive in nature and like that power. Like men are more prone towards sports and stuff, and so I think that telling people and fighting, like my wife is an extreme atheist, but she doesn't like fighting. She doesn't want to talk to people about it. If you're not an anti-religionist and an atheist to her, she doesn't even have time of day for you. So I think that that's a difference, maybe where some women don't feel like I'm living my life, let other people live their life, sort of. But I think that like your experience, why you're going to make a group, if I can motivate you, you're going to make a group because it's not really about just fighting. It's about the support. That's what for my thing. People think like I'm fighting all the time. No, not really. If you ever watch me, I don't fight really that much. Because I don't troll people. I have groups. I'm not mean to religious people. My thing is education. My thing is support. We feel alone. And I want people to feel good. And why I try so hard to give reasons for atheism is to make atheists that don't know feel confident. You should feel good. There's no reason to feel like, well, maybe I'm weird. There's nothing weird. Like you said, there's nothing weird. Believing in nature, that's not weird. not believing in magic that we never have found, yeah, that's not strange. So, and I think it's a positive thing. We should care for each other, and how we can do that is by making groups, it's by connecting, it's by educating, it's by helping other people so they don't feel alone.
Most of the atheist people that I have on Facebook or that I follow they usually all have that approach. It's about education, not about trolling or calling names or anything. I mean, yeah, we make jokes, but who doesn't? But it's more about educating what this is really all about. And
Yeah.
the taboo out. Because there are a lot of people that don't know that, for example, the Pledge of Allegiance didn't have one nation under God.
Right.
It was indivisible, and they put something very divisive instead. And so, atheist, that word has been vilified, and we have been vilified. And if we take out that veil and show that most of us are humanists, and most of us only want to be kind and love each other and be good to one another, then that all fades, that all image that we had, it all fades.
Yeah, well, and even ones that I would say too that I think most atheists, even ones that are nihilist and don't believe in humanity, usually aren't out trying to hurt humanity. They just want to live their own life and don't believe anyone has the right to tell them what rules. I mean, I don't hold that view, but I mean,
Worst scenario, and that's not really that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they say I don't really care about anyone, I only care about myself. That's not really harming anybody, I mean, not like saying that I want to go kill people for not believing,
I'm yet to hear about militant atheists hurting people in the name of atheism.
Right.
For one.
Or you don't see wars between agnostics and atheists.
No. I don't know. Well, you should know that there is a.
Yeah. but and I think even more than that, most of us either support gender equality. Most of them do, and most support race equality, and most support gay rights. I mean, and even the ones that don't, I don't know of atheist pages that are anti-gay or anti-women or anti-race. Not that I know of. Do you know what I'm saying? But right. So I think that, and I'm just saying, even I think the ones that maybe aren't, there's not like some kind of movement for it. It's because most of us would say, let other people do their own life. I definitely do. I support people. I believe that we're benefited by women being part of our movement. They're part of human. We're benefited by different races. We're all really from Africa, anyways. I mean, we're benefited from different sexualities. It's all normal. I mean, the different genders. We are different genders. I mean, all this stuff is just normal. Yeah.
All that divisiveness is all rooted in religion. It's not. Usually, atheists are all about being treat everyone equally and respecting people how they are.
Right.
Not trying to anyone.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, even I think ones that are somewhat disrespectful, they don't go out of their way to me really to do a lot, and they certainly don't take it, like you said, to the level of violence. So it just shows that there is something different about religion, because I think it gives you the moral justification to hurt others, to hate others, and when you're an atheist, even if you hated people, you don't have that moral justification. I'm right because God says,
What the quote I'm looking for is from Voltaire. Those who believe absurdities will commit atrocities.
Yeah.
You need to believe absurdities in order to commit those atrocities.
Well, yeah. Well, you have to dehumanize people definitely to see them not as part of you. So I think that's just an error, like you said. I mean, and religion promotes. I told this person before. He said, everyone that has religion doesn't harm. I said, yeah, that's like saying that a loaded gun doesn't by itself kill people. It doesn't. If I put a loaded gun on the table, it's not going to jump up and start shooting people. It takes a person to do that. But you see, every person that picks up that gun won't kill people. But you would be just as nervous as I would be to lay a loaded gun on the table in a room and let all these people walk by and expect that nobody picks it up and does something. I mean, I would feel nervous. I wouldn't put it in an open room. I would not put a gun down loaded and then walk away and watch some people walk by. No. It's a scary. So to me, religion's like that. It always contains the possibility for violence.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So, because it itself is a motivation to support things like that. I mean, yeah, it's scary. And even some people go, well, Buddhism. Yeah, have you seen Buddhism in Myanmar? They're killing people. There's laws that they arrest you for having, disrespected the Buddha. I mean,
and that's one of the most peaceful religions, and they're not completely peaceful.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, a lot of people think that peaceful is like anti-violence, but I think they only see violence as actual hitting or hurting people. Where they don't see, to me, sexism is violence against women. It's the subjugation, oppression of women, which to me is a form of violence. And I did a blog thing where I showed every religion and the major religion in the world, even the most peaceful one, Jainism, still subjugates and is sexism towards women. So so that's why I think that religion is inherently harmful, because they all promote these negative ideas. I mean, if we invented a book today and we said we're going to discriminate people and we're going to call this holy, people would be like, hell no.
That's not going to fly.
No.
Well, we want to hope that kind
Well,
of
true. Well, there's always people that, but usually it's because of religion. I'm saying if we, my point was, if we didn't say it was religious. You see what I'm saying? If we just wrote a book and said, you know, women are less than, and it was just a book and it wasn't a religion, people would be freaking outraged about it. Like you said about the Bible, you just read quotes out of the Bible and people are offended. Well, because it's offensive.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that we think that people can be more, can better identify now. What's in Scientology group? It's like, really? And that's pretty new.
Yeah, space aliens.
It's absurd, and it has a huge following. So, like, I mean, it's scary to think that people can fall for something as idiotic as that.
Yeah, it made me think that I wonder if we could charge religions with spreading propaganda, you know, like being con men. Like, as we have laws against, I believe, against conning people or, you know, or taking their money. I wonder if you could do RICO acts against religion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they're actually conning people. The only reason that we accept it's not that is because it's been around a long time.
My mom, she applied for an annulment with the Catholic Church because she wanted to marry my dad, the one who raised me. She worked for years with ecclesiastic court. And it took thousands of dollars and years of hard work. And they would say, oh, yeah, you're going to get the annulment. And then they said, we have to review this or that. And every time it was more money and more. They dragged that for like 9 years. Right? Well, I can't remember if it was 7 or 9 years. Well, her first husband died.
Yeah.
And anyway, she doesn't believe in the church anymore. So it's like, whatever. But they got a few $1,000s from her. That's fine.
Yeah. That's really, really sad. That's what I'm saying. They're like conning people. Or like those televangelists. Certainly to me, I don't see that they are conning people, telling people, I'm going to send you this little bottle of holy water and you send me $100 or whatever. You know, it's like, they're conning people. I mean, at what point do we allow that behavior, you know, to go on? If someone sold the same product, but, you know, I don't know. It just worries me that these things are allowed without challenge. I mean,
And I've had friends that said, like, well, you know a lot about the Bible and everything. I'm like, yeah, and it's precisely my morality that stops me from taking advantage of people that don't.
yeah.
You know? In the church, and I'll be a pastor, I'll be an apostle. I'll call myself an apostle.
Yeah.
And march the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Luxury. But precisely because it's not in my nature to con people, I just cannot do something like that. But there are people that will. Sadly.
Well, yeah, I don't think all people that are like pastors or that they're all full believers. I bet you there's some that don't believe and they're just using it for money.
They're just despicable people, and they know how to take advantage. They know how to work whatever they have to say in order for people to send them money.
Right. That's good. So do you have any plans now that we've been talking for the future of your atheist movement?
Yeah, I guess I have some work to do, huh?
Anyway, it's been good talking to you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, okay.
No, you're good. You're like, I don't care about you.
Oh, no, don't say that. It was a very good chat.
Okay. Well, everyone, it's been good, and we're gonna go. So.